Rare, almost inconceivable moment. Crown Princess Mary of Denmark, an icon of royal refinement, turned away from a Michelin-starred restaurant like a mere stranger. What really happened that day? An exclusive account, rich in emotion, behind-the-scenes insights, and unexpected revelations. Subscribe to our channel to never miss the most fascinating secrets of the world's monarchies. Leave a comment, share this video with your friends, and most importantly, tell us, what would you do in Mary's shoes? Enjoy. A sunny summer afternoon in a discreet Danish town prized by fine foodies would become the scene of an incident as improbable as it was uncomfortable. That day, an elegant figure, dressed in a discreet but perfectly cut cream suit, walked through the doors of a renowned restaurant known for its Michelin stars, impeccable service, and intimate atmosphere. She was not surrounded by an imposing retinue or preceded by official protocol. It was Mary, Crown Princess of Denmark, arriving like an ordinary customer, without a reservation. What should have been a peaceful moment of enjoyment in one of the temples of Danish gastronomy turned into a royal embarrassment. For, against all expectations, Mary was refused entry. Turned away. Politely, yes, but firmly. No privilege, no recognition. The staff, visibly unimpressed or simply misinformed, adhered to a strict rule: no reservations, no tables. For many, this seems unimaginable. How could a future queen, whose face is printed on the pages of magazines and broadcast to every household in the kingdom, find herself treated like an anonymous person? And yet, that's exactly what happened. A misunderstanding, a breakdown in communication, or perhaps a deliberate choice to remain incognito. The mystery remains, but that day, it wasn't the princess who made headlines by her title. It was the woman, alone facing an unexpected refusal. Mary, born in Tasmania, isn't one to take offense at a setback. But witnesses present that day described a strange scene, a discreet exchange, then a slight nod from the princess, before she turned on her heel with the polite smile of someone who prefers discretion to insistence. No fuss, no demands, but a question hung in the air: what really happened? The rumor mill quickly grew. In royal circles, the trade press began to ask questions. Social media was ablaze. Some praised Mary's modest attitude, others were outraged by what they perceived as a lack of respect. The restaurant, however, remained silent. No official statement, no mea culpa. The royal household, faithful to its tradition of reserve, also made no comment. But behind the scenes, murmurs multiplied. In the private life of Mary's entourage, it was revealed that the princess simply wanted to test out the place, away from protocol. She appreciates anonymous outings, moments of freedom where she can be just another woman. This wasn't the first time she'd done this. She was known to be fond of strolls in the city center, impromptu visits to boutiques, and discreet cafes chosen on a whim. But that day, the experience was cut short. The incident could have ended there, faded into oblivion like a fleeting anecdote. But that would be to misunderstand the public's fascination with the slightest flaws of royalty. For behind the refusal, a whole symbolism emerged. Mary, the one who represents elegance, quiet confidence, Danish rigor in its most contemporary form, suddenly confronted with the ordinary. With the rigidity of an impersonal rule. With the coldness of a welcome without privilege. This disrupts the codes, questions our relationship with royal figures. In the days that followed, several Danish Michelin-starred chefs spoke anonymously. They discussed the constraints of their establishments, the difficulty of managing public figures, the dilemma between equality and preferential treatment. Some admitted they would probably have acted differently. Others defended the rigor of gastronomic protocol. A table, in these places of excellence, must be earned, reserved, and respected. But beyond the micro-event, the affair highlights another side of Mary. That of a profoundly human woman, capable of taking a rejection in stride, without revealing her status. A model of humility, according to many. An image that contrasts with the stereotypes often attributed to crowned heads. For Mary, despite her role as crown princess, despite her commitments, despite her aura, remains deeply attached to normality. This is nothing new, she has demonstrated it throughout her career. When she married Prince Frederick in 2004, the world was thrilled by this romance worthy of a modern fairy tale. An Australian woman from a modest background, thrust into the mysteries of a strict and codified Nordic monarchy. She could have lost herself in the constraints, shut herself away in the distance. But on the contrary, she won the hearts of the Danes with her closeness, her simplicity, her discreet but constant commitment. Even today, this episode at the Michelin-starred restaurant serves as a reminder of this dimension. Mary didn't demand special treatment. She didn't call the palace services. She didn't brandish her name as a privilege. She simply left. And perhaps it is there, in this withdrawal, that all her greatness lies. Yet the story doesn't end there. A few days later, well-informed sources reported that a discreet gesture had been made. The restaurant's chef reportedly sent, through an emissary, a message of apology and a private invitation. A personalized dinner, prepared according to the princess's tastes, in an intimate atmosphere. Not to right a wrong, but to acknowledge an attitude. Mary apparently accepted, without fanfare. The dinner took place outside of opening hours, without photographs, without a press release. A silent reconciliation, reflecting what Mary is: dignified, discreet, but never distant. In the public eye, the episode reinforced her image. Editorialists praised her restraint. Internet users launched passionate debates about the limits of gastronomic protocol when dealing with symbols of the state. And in schools of royal communication, the story of Mary being turned away from a Michelin-starred restaurant became a textbook case. How can we transform a potential humiliation into a lesson in dignity? Because, ultimately, the day Mary was turned away was not an affront that will be remembered, but a shining example of humanity. An elegant way of reminding us that, behind the titles, behind the crowns, there are human beings. That even a princess can be told no, and respond with grace. And you, if you were in the maitre d's shoes that day, would you have recognized Mary? And if so, would you have turned her away anyway?